some of the issues and could not move forward. And the communications committee was formed with members consisting of myself, Sheriff Harmon, Constable Kerry Peters, Chief Billy Petru, Chief Randy Schlock, Chief Mark Herchek, Greg Morelli, and Assistant Chief Tim Becker. And the goals were adequate public safety communication. I mean, that was number one, right? That's what we're trying to do for all of the stakeholders involved. Planning for the future of the system and community growth. We don't want to have a system that, comes to a stop and we have to invest more and more and more later on. We want to be able to build a system that is easily accessible and easy to grow. I apologize for my coughing. Easy communication between the end user and dispatch. We don't want dispatch to be confused. We don't want our guys to be confused when we're trying to operate on this system. And interoperability between the Lavaca County law enforcement, EMS, and fire departments. And lastly, regional interoperability with surrounding counties and agencies. I've told Commissioners Court before, people in the public, at least for EMS and the law enforcement as well, we're finding ourselves more and more frequently in each other's county helping each other out because of lack of resources or we're just getting busier. You can see here, I put up a map. So each circle represents a 20-mile radius around that tower site, okay? And I wish I could make the county, if you follow that little turquoise line, you can see the outline of the county. But what this does is it shows you our coverage and where we plan to saturate that with our Moulton Tower site, our Shiner Tower site, and Colorado County has a tower site as well in Glidden. They're also adding one you'll see here in a little bit down in Garwood. So this entire area now is going to be saturated with this public safety radio network. Okay. All right. So what is TextForm? It is a regional radio system that is 800 megahertz. Currently, we talk on around 150 megahertz for VHF. This is 800 megahertz, so we'll be able to get away from that noise floor we were talking about. It encompasses approximately 28 counties in Texas. So you see, if we create this system in our backyard, it's not just our backyard. We adjoin, we're like in a big neighborhood now, so we can all talk across the fence. The system is ran from 2 cores located, I believe, in Tomball and the other in Houston. It can easily be expandable and offers interoperability to the end users. We would bring a system we would bring that system the furthest west in their coverage area. Okay. Right now, Jackson, Colorado are the furthest west. If we join, we would then be the furthest west in the system. Towers within the system are shared by all public safety users, and we can join forces with the 31 other Texas counties and not be on an island anymore. So quite frequently, I've been asked to, so what does it have to do with, if I'm in Houston and I can talk back to Hallettsville from Houston from my vehicle or from my handheld? Well, we send ambulances to Houston all the time, right? We go to downtown, the medical center, from here to there, Sugar Land, Rosenberg, Katy, the sheriff, when they're transporting inmates, maybe they have to take one to Huntsville, they're able to talk all the way from Huntsville back down to here. So throughout that transport, they're staying in constant communication back to home. And this is an example of the coverage that TextForm offers and where it's at right now. You do see that they have it brought the Jackson County side online on their map. But you can see everywhere that's purple is coverage throughout the state of Texas. So basically from us would be almost all the way over to Beaumont. And then you go up to Huntsville and it's part of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex just on the outside. And then to the east and north of that as well. So what do we need to do to join? So regardless of 800 megahertz or VHF, we will need to move 2 tower sites, Moulton and Shiner. We do have proposed sites for that, County Road 247 and County Road 335. We're in the works right now talking to the owners of those tower sites. We will need some new equipment for the infrastructure of the system. 2 equipment shelters will need to be acquired, one for Moulton and one for the RAB switch tower site, which is our existing tower that the county owns just outside of town. We do have access to these as well. We're not paying, we wouldn't be paying for brand new shelters. Of course, we're going to work with Motorola, VCS, and Harris County on timelines and project management and purchase radios for the stakeholders that are capable dual or tri-band. And you can see right here, I wanted to answer a question that I know is going to come up, is why do we want to move some of these tower sites? You can see the elevation differences to where we are right now, at a total of 567 feet above sea level, we would get it up to 765 feet above sea level. Shiner is 523, we would get it to 627, which would then better align with Rad Switch, which is at 633 above sea level. The problems that we have that we're dealing with terrain in that side of the county, the west side of the county, is people who are familiar with molten and shiner, they kind of sit in a bowl, right? So we're trying to transmit that frequency up and out of the bowl, over the hill and through the woods, and it's just not really working. We have to elevate that so we can broadcast that signal out further. I ran out of battery. Almost done, guys. Okay. So we're talking about Jackson County. This is what's really special about this system is that we're talking about Jackson County, and that's what's kind of special about the system is people, as end users, start adding towers around on this system. It creates kind of like a cell phone coverage. So your radio, whether it's a handheld, whether it's mobile, it roams from tower to tower to tower. You stay in constant communication. You can see right here our projected coverage maps. Anything that's in purple would be something that's covered, right? But we have a big hole down here. You'll see the hole at the bottom, south, and southeast. Well, the next slide is going to show you right here, Jackson County is in the works right now of building a new tower site there. So once Jackson County builds that tower site and flips the switch, all of this will then become covered. Okay? And you can see by that. So there's the tower site they're planning on doing. All that we didn't have covered now becomes covered. And so we get to share that with them, and they share ours with theirs as well. So if they come into Lavaca County, they'll be switching over to our tower and so on and so forth. So anywhere you go in this system, your vehicle and your radio move from tower to tower. So we talk about phases 1 through 4. Phase 1 and 2, the most complex, move 2 towers along with the hardware and software changes and the purchase of dual band radios for the stakeholders. And then phase 3 would be when Jackson County flips their switch on their new tower. And then phase 4 doesn't ever really stop. Additional towers and support for the lifespan of the project if needed, right? And then upon the completion of the project, we'll work with end users to provide training on the radio system and how the VHF and 800 megahertz will be utilized. Upon completion of the project, we'll work with dispatch to provide training in radio systems, how to talk groups functions, as well as patching capabilities. And prior to all radios being issued, they will come to the EMS office where we can work with the auditor's office to provide accurate asset tracking for all the radios before they get to end users. I know I may be speaking a little bit of Chinese, but we are going to keep our VHF system, okay? We're going to make this, we want to make this system, we're going to keep VHF system as a backup, as a redundant backup. And it also helps our volunteer firefighters and EMS. We don't have to purchase radios for every single volunteer firefighter out there. They would prefer to have pagers. Pagers are $300, $400 versus radios that obviously are a lot more expensive than that. So we would be able to utilize that, still have them to be able to be paged from a pager and come to the station. But in case we do lose for some reason a system, we have a good backup and a redundant backup to switch over so we never lose communications. Any questions?
I think the biggest question is the money.
Yes. Okay, so I have that broken down here.
That's tab 5 in your,
Section 5.
the 5th tab in your document.
I didn't print out, but we have extra right there. I'm sorry. You said the 5th? Okay.
Yeah, before we get started on the money equation, I just want to say thank you to you and the telecom committee for all your dedication this summer. I don't know how many times you met, but it was and thank you to George Motorola. You were here with us the whole way. Motorola assured us the whole time, and we got your back. We're staying here till this is resolved to their satisfaction and everyone's satisfaction. So kudos to that.
And they have, and the communication committee really has done a lot. We've met a lot and we've talked a lot, and we've met We've been meeting here, we met in China, we've met everywhere together, going over this step by step by step. And unfortunately, this isn't a project that you can snap your fingers and it's done. I mean, it takes time, it takes coordination, planning, engineering. So we're moving forward at a good pace now. So talking about the money situation, we're talking about a 3-site 800 megahertz simulcast radio system with 3 independent VHF sites. Okay. When you go through here and you look at this, the subtotal with the VHF conversion, all right, the subtotal for the 800 megahertz system and the VHF conversion would be the $2,315,109. And then we do have system discounts and trade-ins of $304,000, which then brings that total service, or that installation for that service is $2,010,417. We do have additional subscribers, which is the end users, the stakeholders that we need to have some radios for. That comes out to a total of $989,738.
And that breakout's in tab 7. That list of subscribers is in your tab 7.
I'm sorry, the list, he said the list of subscribers is on the 7th tab in your book. So that would be the radios, the extra radios that we need to make the switch would be on your 7th tab if you go there. You can see. So your final investment in this with credits and everything is $3,208.31. And so what we talked about, I had met with the auditor. I met with the auditor last week and spoke to her about funding capabilities and how to move forward with this project. We do have ARPA funds that are left from when we received those 2 years ago, something like that. And sir,
ARPA being American Plan.
Yes. And somebody is going to correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, but I believe those funds either have to be allocated or have to be spent by the end of 24. Is that correct? Okay. And that is a total of $1,694,693. So that would be the potential use for the ARPA funds, would be a down payment of that. We do have a few different options as far as a municipal lease option. We have 3, 5, and a 7-year plan that's presented here to us from Motorola. And you know, that is a decision that we can talk through, or that what y'all's feelings on that is. Going down this path, if you would want to do a 3, 5, or 7 for the rest of for the remainder of it, yes.
Yes. I just did some, back of your hand math.
Yes, sir.
To look at this, and so it's obviously it's a lease purchase.
Yes.
It's a municipal lease.
It's a municipal lease.
So you own it from the beginning, there's no buyout at the end. It's protected with a non-appropriation clause in it. This is what y'all did on the other one. It's a non-appropriation clause, so it's, since you can't allocate funding year to year, has the non-allocation required by Texas to be in the municipal lease.
Okay. Is there a rate attached to that lease?
Yes, sir. That's on tab 8,
Tab 8.
and that's the municipal
Because
lease.
it looked just simple math. We're looking at 1.16, the remaining cost at the bottom of the page.
No, cheap.
It's remaining amount cost. I just took the 431 times 3, and about 1.29, so it's about $200,000 in interest.
I saw it the other day, and I believe it is around 5%.
Well, it's at the 5 years, it's 1.35, so that's about.
Yeah, so there's no prepayment penalty on it if you go different financing, or if you want to go down to some point of it to refinance at a lower interest, there is no prepayment penalty.
As we've been walking through this all summer, one phrase we keep coming to is This is about first responder safety. It's not about anything other than that. It's, we have money to cover it, but I think it would be wise possibly to spend ARPA funds because that needs to be spent. And then possibly we can entertain the lease, we can pay that out, pay it off early once. The county has zero debt. So we're in good financial shape. We knew this was coming during the budget season. We've been planning for it. We're in great financial shape. So I'm flexible either way. It doesn't bother me whether we take on a lease payment for this system for 5 years, 3 years, either one. And you know that I mean, that's just factored into our budget equation. We have to pay it. I don't know if anyone has an opinion on that or not. You know, we have some other large expenditures that we want to talk about going forward, especially when it comes to roadways, but I do think this supersedes, this is our most pressing issue. This supersedes roads because of the capabilities of what we're about to put in place. And again, as Michael alluded to, we are growing. I had an attorney talk to me last time on the phone, we were talking about some issues, and they said, keep our population on 20-something thousand. I said, that's just your census population. We're probably 35,000 on some weekends. So we have a lot of people to protect in the county. And that is growing. We are a growing county.
The 5-year plan that would cost.
Let's
About 2,350.
let's do this. Let's first of all, where's the court state on the system itself? Let's take money off the equation. If money's not the issue, or do we have a motion to even accept this project?
We need it,
Okay.
you know.
Any opposition to that? Can you say we need the system? The system's going
This
to
far into it, I mean, we need to make it right. Now, when you said, Mike, on those towers, on 247, it's an existing tower here, just like on 335.
It is.
And basically, all they're gonna be doing is taking down off the water towers and setting them up on
Right, the existing equipment that we have that's out there right now,
Yes.
some of it's going to be able to be used. Excuse me, and that's the equipment that will come out. You have microwave dishes, you have antennas, things like that.
I think it's 2 dishes and maybe
Right.
2 antennas on each China.
And the same goes for China. And what that helps is that basically puts, like say, it puts us up higher, and then we're projecting down into the bowl instead of trying to project out of the bowl.
Once this phase is completed, I guess we really got it around Yoakum or? we may
Well,
get-
this actually gets us pretty good coverage inside Yoakum, which is awesome. And then, you know, when Jackson County comes on board, that's going to help 111 South as well.
Right.
And 77. So you can see down here, this is Yoakum.
Right.
Now you can see by us moving it just outside of town, how much coverage we have in and around Yoakum.
Right.
So it helps out tremendously. And that's one thing that we've been concerned about too, you know, moving forward is the interoperability between us and Yoakum Police Department, Yoakum Fire Department. And they come to us, we go to them, and so this helps out again tremendously.
I think in the whole equation, Yoakum Police Department is at a disadvantage because there's on county, I mean, they're on the border of 2 counties with 2 different systems. And this is going to take care of it. Not here, the church.
Oh, yes, that's correct. Some of the subscribers that we talked about, the subscribers in here that we're talking about taking care of would be some of that Yoakum Police Department, Yoakum Fire Department, so they would have dual band radios. They would be able to communicate on their system, our system, so.
Am I hearing any opposition to the system itself? Mr. Felciano? No. All right, so the issue is how do we fund it?
I said, let's start with taking the existing, we can do that in March.
Pay down with the complete ARPA fund balance.
Yes.
Shane, is that ARPA fund, is that correct, the 1,694,693?
I was going to comment on that. That balance was as of the end of September. As of the end of October, it's 1.485. $1,485,981. That had to do with medical reasons.
Okay, so to the question I have to Motorola, if we spend the down payment of 1.4 of ARPA funds, can we roll the rest into a 5-year note?
Yes, sir, with one exception, 147 under that 1.6
Yes, sir.
is the credit you got back from the return we did on the radios, that invoice that y'all are paying. So there's some other radios y'all already bought, that will be able to be rolled into this. But, you know, as long as that invoice was paid, that credit will be there for that 147. That's why that number is sitting there.
Okay.
So, yeah, so we can roll the rest into it, and I can have those lease documents updated today in your hands.
I think we can make a motion and proceed with the direction of where the funds are coming from. So, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to proceed,
Make a motion to approve.
and proceed the telecommunications moving forward with phase 1 and 2 of the 700, 800 MGAC tech form system.
Okay. With funding from,
The funding from ARPA. And the rest, finance over a 5-year period.
all right, I had a motion from precinct 3 to approve the telecommunications committee's recommendation to move forward with phases 1 and 2 of the 700/800 megahertz text forward system funding, full funding coming from ARPA in advance, and then the remaining balance to be financed with Motorola over 5 years, or 5-year period. Have a second?
Second.
Second by precinct 4. Any other discussion?
And this will take care of Lavaca County, police departments, fire departments,
Yes.
EMS, sheriff department, and everybody.
Yes, sir.
No hiccups.
I can't say no hiccups, but it will take care of it. And like I said earlier, with Jackson County, when they turn on their tower, that's gonna help us out tremendously. As far as the no hiccups being taken care of, they will be taken care of with radios. They will be able to communicate back to us. All volunteer fire departments, all police departments, sheriff, and EMS. Last week, what was that, last week Thursday is when we met? No, last week Tuesday? We met in Shiner, all the stakeholders, we all came together in Shiner at Casper Pavilion, and we had a meeting with all volunteer fire departments, police departments, and sheriff's office, and everybody was in agreement to move forward.
With presentation.
Sir?
Everybody's in agreement.
Yes, sir, yeah. Yes, sir.
See, there's a lot of first responders here in the room today. Everyone shaking their hand with your agreement. Is anyone not in agreement with us at this point? Want to come forward? So you open fire. Anybody? Connor?
Sure.
George?
On that 5-year plan, if there's some difference, let us know where to be.
I'll get finance department to recalculate it. I'll have that over to you then.
Appreciate it.
All right. Any other discussion? If not, I have a motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to approve the telecommunications committee's recommendation to move forward with the phase 1 and phase 2 of the 700/800 megahertz text warrant system. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Thank you very much for your work on this.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else?
No, my next on the agenda. Okay. That'll work.
Agenda item number 2. Discuss and approve utilizing money from the contingency fund, line item 100-5409 for replacement agreement to hire a new employee. There's no attachment to this.
No, basically what it is, I have one employee that's retiring January 4th, and with this contingency fund, I can go ahead and hire him, replacement for him, where he can be trained out starting December.
Okay, we can make a motion.
Make a motion to approve utilizing the money from the contingency fund line item 100-5409 for precinct 3 to hire a new employee.
Second?
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to approve utilizing money from our contingency fund, line item 100-5409, precinct 3 to hire a new employee. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 3, discuss and approve the purchase of one 2022 Bomag recycler, serial number 10159602150 off the buy board 685-22 for precinct 1 and 3. Hear a motion?
They basically, we're buying this to kind of speed up the process of grinding up roads.
Yes.
We have one ready, and we're gonna just throw this one out there and try to get as much as we can get ground up to repair.
Hear your motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of one 2022 Bomag recycler, serial number 10159602150, buy board number 685-22 for precinct 1 and 3.
Hear a second?
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 1 to approve the purchase of one 2022 Bomag recycler, serial number 10159602150 off the buy board number 685-22 for precinct 1 and 3. Hear your discussion.
This is just, you know, the rental fleet.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we buy most of everything.
Another rental fleet, so they can maintain it. And, I mean, when you're
It's as is, but they stand behind, they stood behind the last thing we bought from them for 6 months.
Okay. If anyone in the precinct wants to buy into it later.
Yes. If anyone wants to find it, they can do something.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 4, discuss and approve purchasing road equipment to be utilized for paving county roads in all 4 precincts. I put this on the agenda. I've heard y'all discussing it with me off and on. This is the first time I think all 5 of us are in court discussing this issue. Possibly having joint equipment, and possibly having joint paving crews during paving season, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think at a certain time of the year, you know, which where everybody's always trying to get roads done. I think we need to, you know, where the commission discussed in can, or we can purchase some other equipment that would move the process on. Because we have a problem trying to get contractors to do some of our work, resealing and whatever. And once we get a road set up to pave, we gotta have to get it done, otherwise it rounds. So this would help us in the long run when we get ready to pave the road, where we can purchase the equipment and we can work with the 4 precincts all together, manpower. That way that would relieve, all 4 precincts can keep on going to do as they are ready, late road, whatever. It's not gonna slow anything down that we need to take care of maintenance wise or whatever. And like I said, we're gonna road building crew, 4 to 6 people, we work that out on the precincts, and also purchase a little bit more equipment that we need for that process, which we don't have now. Any other commissioner I'd like to hear their point of view on this?
I'd like to hear from all of you.
I would think it would be profitable for all 4 precincts to join in on this and have 2 people from 1, 2 people from 2, 2, and 2, if we need that many people. Have 1 operator of the machine that travels with the machine. When you have different operators, something's gonna break. I'm just put it like that.
Yes.
And it won't be a situation where they say, well, it wasn't working when we picked it up. No.
Yeah.
That person will be in charge of the machine and they would know if it was working or if it's not working. So, yes, I'm in favor of that.
Sounds like a plan to me. mean, it just, and I think we get a lot more benefit in the long run.
Right.
Do the pain to death and go forward.
We can always, if we have our own equipment, if we have more than one precinct ready, we can always reach out to the subcontractors or whoever, bids on them. And we can get twice as much knocked out.
There are counties that are surrounding us that have similar systems in place, and they find that the efficiency is there, and that they get more done by having a dedicated crew to do that. And so it's a proven fact that that we can pay and manage more roads than what we're doing. And so I think it'll be a benefit to all of us. It will be.
That way, if something happens in your precinct, I don't have all of my people working on one project. And you can still maintain the road.
We can still maintain, the maintenance and repair crew on everything. That way, still get our roads knocked out.
Well, this is the subject matter. The reason why we're bringing this up is I thought I've been hearing this one-on-one talks that you guys are looking more favorable on doing something together. And I think that would benefit us from a cost perspective, time constraint perspective. We don't have to wait on anybody. If the conditions are right today, we're not waiting on equipment. You guys need to control that a little bit. But I do think y'all need to we need to negotiate how does this work?
Right.
And how do we make it fair to all precincts, and if someone's not hogging the machines? It's some kind of lottery system, draw system, that we do round robin. Precinct 3 got the lottery, he's the first one to go. If he's not ready, then he goes to the next one. And just stay in order.
Good.
That's what I see order.
I think we can call that.
Okay. I just want to make sure we have a fair system. I can be the referee if I'd like.
Do what?
I can be the referee if I'd like.
Hopefully we won't need to.
We will.
Well, we'll probably start with precinct 1.
And it's downhill from there.
Yeah.
Downhill from there.
I think that's a
That's
strike.
the way it's always been, but we can change that. It's all good.
I like the fact that this is the first time that I can recall this court is working very much in unison together and thinking for the betterment of the county. And you're ultimately helping taxpayers out, so.
And again, another thing is basically, we have a budget. There's only so much we can do with our budgets year to year. We'll try to accomplish what we can and we'll go forward.
You want to talk now about what kind of equipment you need, or you want to wait till we come back to a later date? and
We'll
discuss?
come back another day and talk about that.
All right. Well,
But just keep in mind that precinct 1 and 2 are on the top of the list.
I think that's how the money will be spent that way.
I knew there's going to be something about this. All right.
Let's move on.
Okay. Well, is there anything to prove here, or we just discussed it? It's been discussed in open court, and we want to come back with a good plan? Start drafting it. I don't know who's going to take the lead in drafting that plan. I've seen paper.
I'll get stuff together on it.
I've seen what I refer to as a Bohemian spreadsheet. I've seen a Bohemian spreadsheet. I think that.
Easy on that.
Okay, so we'll move on. Item number 5, declare items on Exhibit A from Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 as surplus property. That's found on page 1.
Your Honor, I move that we declare items on Exhibit A from Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 as surplus property. Do we need to read them all?
If you have that one.
Smith Corona typewriter, beige color and it works. Motorola HT90 portable handheld radio, gray in color. Motorola HT90 battery charger base, and it's gray in color. Do we need serial numbers for those?
It was to Exhibit A.
Yes.
Is it?
No.
They said no. Okay, I'm sorry. So there's a motion made by Precinct 1. Second. Second by Precinct 2. Motion made by Precinct 1, second by Precinct 2 to declare items on Exhibit A from Justice of the Peace precinct 1 surplus property as provided, as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 6, transfer of duties of local registration and consolidation of birth and death records between the city of Yoakum and Lavaca County, and Lavaca County Clerk. That is brought to you by our clerk. Want to speak on this?
Yes, I will.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I put this on the agenda because the Yoakum City Clerk's Office currently maintains the birth and death records for the citizens of Lavaca County that were born in Yoakum. The city clerk contacted myself and the DeWitt County Clerk if we would be interested in consolidating those records, where I would get the Lavaca County portion of it and the DeWitt County would get the DeWitt part of it. And it would be a benefit to the citizens of the county because it would be a one-stop shop. So we would have all the records here in our county. Because currently we'll have some people that come drive from Yoakum to our office to come get a birth certificate, and we have to turn it away because we do not have it. It's the city clerk's office in Yoakum. So I just feel that it would be a benefit for the citizens to have it in one location, central location. And so I have a resolution in front of you, and I also have a letter stating that I do have the funds and the resources to take on this project. And if you so approve the resolution, then what happens, our resolution, the DeWitt County resolution, and the Yoakum City Clerk came up with the resolution. We'll send all of that to the state, and they will approve it. And once it's approved, then it will be after the first of the year when the records will actually be transferred to our office.
Has DeWitt County already proposed?
They are doing it today.
They're
as
going to
well.
stage one.
And it has passed, if I'm correct, I think it's passed, City of Yoakum has already signed the resolution.
So you're basically in support of this move?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to transfer the duties of local registration, consolidation of birth and death records between the city of Yoakum and Lavaca County Clerk.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to transfer the registration and consolidation of births and death records between the city of Yoakum and Lavaca County Clerk. Any other discussion?
I know that on first hand, to be honest with you, not long ago, get a passport.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 7, discuss and approve Sheriff Harmon's reappointment to the Gulfpin Center Board of Trustees for the term of August 2023 through August 2025. That's out of the Sheriff's Office. Sheriff, do you have anything you want to say on that? You just want us to approve it?
Yeah, I'm willing to serve with pleasure at the court.
Okay. Sheriff said he's willing to serve. Do I hear a motion?
Yes. I move we approve Sheriff Harmon's reappointment to Gulfpin Center Board of Trustees, effective August 23 through August 25.
Second. Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the reappointment of Sheriff Harmon to the Gulfpin Center Board of Trustees for August 2023 through August 2025 term. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 8, this is found on page 8 and 9. Your packets declare items on Exhibit B from the Sheriff's Office as surplus property.
Your Honor, I make a motion to declare items on Exhibit B from the Sheriff's Department office as a surplus property, that being a 2014 Chevrolet Tahoe, a 2018 Ford Explorer, a 2018 Chevrolet Tahoe, and a 2007 Ford Explorer.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, seconded by precinct 4 to declare the items on Exhibit B from the Sheriff's Office as surplus property. Any discussion? Sheriff, do these vehicles run?
Gently used.
Gently used?
Are they
No,
gently
you-
We may have some need in the courthouse for some
Yeah,
vehicles.
they're sold as is. A couple of them have transmission issues. I mean, y'all look at it. For the county, you want transfer to another department.
It's possible. several departments looking for some vehicles, but
Yeah, certainly come out and look at them and see what you think.
very good. All right, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say aye. Motion passes. Number 9, acknowledge receipt from Operation Lone Star Grant. This grant has been applied for and approved. Correct, Sheriff?
Yes, this is a continuation of Operation Lone Star. We've come to the end of our first grant funding, so we applied again. We applied for over 600,000, and they reduced it down to roughly 257,000 for officer overtime and also overtime for assistance of the county auditor's office in the paperwork. They changed up the criteria on funding, is why every county in the coastal bend got cut on their funding, because they put us in tier 1 is the actual border county along the river. Then tier 2 is an agency that continues to that tier 1 county, and then we're inland, so we're considered a tier 3 county. So that's why our funding got cut. There's a possibility of transferring some of that money from overtime into equipment, but our guys are eager to work, and so we're looking forward to getting out there and working some interdiction on human smuggling and fentanyl and other stuff.
Okay, very good. We don't have on this agenda item, but I anticipate maybe next agenda item, talking about Senate Bill 22, that's coming out
Yes.
January. We want to stay on top of Senate Bill 22, how that applies to your office as well.
Yes, I think the public comment, maybe just closed on that, so hopefully the comptroller's office is going to release some more information on how to apply, because they're talking like it's going to have to be applied for like a grant. So even though it's, pretty much automatic, the way the law's written, we're going to get it, but we still have to apply.
Maybe, I hate to talk about our big black eyes around the county, but my understanding Victoria County is like short 30 officers. Don't quote me, I hate to say that publicly, but they're short.
Yeah, everybody's short.
Everybody's short.
Every county, I mean, you can look across the state of Texas and the United States. Law enforcement is not something people want to get into anymore. We're the bad guys now, and we've been beat up in the media so much across the United States. It's just it's hard to recruit people. That's why we're starting to recruit from our jail to send our jailers to the police academy, so we can move those jailers along. I have a jailer been here over 10 years. He wants to move up to be a police officer, so we're not getting any quality applicants, so we're going to send them to the police academy and utilize it from there. I think that's just, you look at Gonzales County and Victoria, everybody's doing that.
We had the opportunity to speak at the Great State Republicans meeting here a couple weeks ago, and the theme for, I guess, all employers in Lavaca County is you've got to grow your own. It's hard to recruit someone to come and live rurally from the cities or somewhere else. And if you could recruit, where are they going to live? How are they going to sustain themselves as far as finding a house and so forth? So we have some big issues coming up. It's just not recruitment. It's how do we house them when we get here? We think growing our own is a real possibility.
Yeah, it's an issue. I mean, we have deputies from Gonzales, Victoria. They live in Lavaca County, but they can't find housing elsewhere. So, I have officers that live in Dewitt County, and wherever they can find a place to live.
If you send a jailer to the police academy, are you going to require him to stay here for a few years, not go elsewhere with his new training?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know about a contract, but I mean, every shift he drives from Victoria. I mean, he's not going anywhere. He loves it here. You know, he loves the job. He just, he's ready to advance from a jailer to a deputy, but he still wants to be attached to the jail, so he'll be what we call a detention deputy. He'll be assigned to the jail and do transports and different things like that.
Thank you very much for all you do. Appreciate it.
Thank you all.
Do I hear a motion to acknowledge the receipt from Operation Lone Star Grant?
Yes.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to acknowledge the receipt of Operation Lone Star Grant funds. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 10, approved bond for the interim election administrator. That's down on page 11.
I move that we approve the bond for the interim election administrator.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the bond for the interim elections administrator. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 11, approve the bond for the interim elections chief deputy.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I move that we approve the bond for the interim elections chief deputy.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the bond for the interim elections chief deputy. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 12, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for the state of Janie Sitka. And that's coming out of precinct 2, down on page 14.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, report, this is, this particular piece of property is located on 17 Freeway. 17 Freeway, yes, sir. On the Market Road.
Yes, it is.
It's 2314.
Yeah, it is.
It's regarding Jamie Sitka's estate, and so family members are inheriting the estate, and there is no, they do meet the qualifications according to our guidelines, based upon the subdivision regulation 2.31-001, Section A, Section 3 of the Texas Local Government Code, that there will be need to lay out alleys or streets or squares or parks or anything or intended for public use. So this is a family that is inheriting property, and the heirs are splitting it equally. So they do meet the requirements of the subdivision ordinance exemption.
So I'm just looking at this, one little corner, touches Farm Road 2314.
Yes.
With the back track that is not.
Right, but they have there's a family agreement within the paperwork that's been filed with us. They have agreed to provide an easement that has no encumbrance attached to it. That the back piece of property will be accessible from that front piece of property.
All right. Is that a motion?
Yes, I would approve item 12 regarding the certificate of subdivision requirements for the estate of Jamie Sitka.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for the state of Janie Sitka. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 13, discuss letter from the General Land Office regarding the CDBG-MID funding. That letter came into to the judge's office on behalf of the judge and the commissioners. That's regarding our funding that we've already tried to reallocate. We've got the low and moderate income areas, and you've got basically protesting some issues, not in our county, but statewide. And so just bring that to your attention that we've been asked to possibly write letters to support what we've already done and what we've allocated for those projects, and keep our projects intact. But I wanted y'all to be aware that not everything that comes to this court is a cookie cutter type of deal. So there is some opposition out there to the General Land Office. Just bring that to y'all's attention. So I don't think we have to do anything. I just want to make sure that you're aware of that letter. If any of you guys want to write letters in support,
letter. I would like to point out, Your Honor, that within the body of the letter from the General Land Office, what happened was that these plans had been approved and rewritten twice based on the requirements of the housing and urban development plans. And so HUD approved the plan twice, and the GLO executed the approved plan, and then a political appointee made baseless claims of discrimination about the existing mitigation grant, and actually took this to the Justice Department of Justice, and filed a discrimination suit. And it says here that this meritless claim was summarily rejected by the Department of Justice in less than 48 hours. So this is politics. This is politics over policy. It's a shame that we're getting into that, but that's exactly what we're facing here. So I would encourage everyone to read the letter, and then on the second page of the letter, there are the names and addresses of the people that we should contact regarding, from the HUD Secretary to our United States Senators, and let's let them know, maybe even our United States Congressmen, let them know what's going on, and so they can apply the requisite, I guess, leverage to them to stop playing games and to release this money that has already been pre-approved and gone through multiple times. And so it's So I appreciate the Texas General Land Office, Commissioner Don Buckingham, reaching out to us and letting us know what is going on, why there's an interruption in the process. And there is an interruption in the process because we're playing politics. And so the much that grieves me, that hurts the people here, and that's what we need to communicate, that the people, you're impacting real people, real lives. This is not some game you're playing. This hurts and it impacts the citizen in which you're supposed to serve. And so I will definitely be penning a letter to these officials and asking them to intercede on our behalf.
We're going to let you write that letter. We appreciate you, the precinct 2.
We'll leave 4 copies.
Seriously, thank you, Wayne. Again, coming from former state rep, Turner Commissioner, we appreciate all the advice and the soundness that you give and support on a regular basis with us. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to 14. Number 14, approved 2024 Texas Association of Counties Cybersecurity Course enrollment for Lavaca County per Texas Government Code 2054.5191. That's brought to you by our auditor. Page 22. Ms. Shana, do you have anyone to add to this?
Nothing really more to add, other than the court needs to approve the course enrollment form. This year they will tag that's offered through the Texas Association of Counties. They're going to charge $5 per user to enhance the program. So years past, this was all offered to us for free, but this is the first year they're going to charge $5 per user in order for us to take this required course.
We just didn't approve the 2024 Texas Association.
This is for 2024. This will be for this next year. We're going to start this early, so everyone in the county can take it.
They usually come out in summer.
Usually about early part of the year. And honestly, it really doesn't matter when it comes out. You still need to take it. So this will be for 2024.
Are you sure on the departments?
All right, we hear a motion.
Make a motion to approve 2024 Texas Association of County Cyber Course enrollment for Lavaca County per Texas Government Code 2054.5191.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 4, seconded by Precinct 3 to approve the 2024 Texas Association of County Cybersecurity Course enrollment for Lavaca County for Texas Government Code. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Number 15, we're bringing him once again, Chief Michael Bird. This is his update for the fee schedule for municipal.
Yes, so I'm coming for you today to talk about our fee schedule. This has to do with Senate Bill 2476. On September 1st, it went into effect when it was signed by the governor on the 18th of June. It aims to amend current laws relating to consumer protection against specific medical and healthcare surprise billing. Just the Cliff Notes version is, when it comes to ambulance services, we don't collect the same amount as hospitals do, as skilled nursing facilities do for similar services. And just like the sheriff said earlier, we kind of get hammered in the media sometimes when they talk about surprise billing. It's not really a surprise, it's just a surprise that your insurance doesn't pay what you would think that it would pay. So then we've been traditionally forced to pass on the rest of the bill to the consumer. Well, this starts to help that process. What it does, and I have the new fees, I believe y'all have a copy of those there with you.
Page 26.
What this does is, come today, we can get our fees updated. I take that information and I go to the TDI website, Texas Department of Insurance website, and I enter the new fee schedule that's been adopted by our local government. And what 2476 says is basically, if your local government adopted these fees, this is what insurance will pay. There is no, your local government says it should be $2,000 and the insurance company pays you $1,000 and then we pay take the other $1,000 to the taxpayer. It's no more of that. Blue Cross Blue Shield, if we send them a $2,000 bill, they will pay us a $2,000 bill because our local government says this is what our ambulance fees are. So, which is a good step in the right direction when it comes to, especially our small ambulance services that are out there. So, sir.
Can you walk us through some of these fees? I mean, these are codes of everybody's fees.
Yes.
Not the whole, but just
Sure.
a few of them.
Just to give you, the ALS means advanced life support, which means paramedic, okay? BLS means basic life support, which means EMT. So if you look at that top, the current fee schedule, ALS emergency with a paramedic would be $1,200 with $17 per mile, okay? So $1,200 and $17 per mile. What we're proposing to move to would be on an ALS emergency would be $1,600 and $24 a mile. Now, we don't just make these prices up. We do our comparisons, our fair share comparisons. Our billing company actually has clients in our area, so it's super easy to figure out what everybody else around us is doing. And this falls in line with Fayette, Gonzales, Goliad, Colorado. We're all kind of in the same area where we're going to as far as adjustment of our fee schedule. So we're just not throwing a dart on the board to see where it lands. And it's really important in our regions too, especially when it comes to Medicare, that we kind of stay on the same fee schedule as well, because as time goes on, Medicare for an ambulance call pays $345.11 and $8.71 a mile, right? Well, if they see our region stays similar to our charges that we have, then Medicare slowly starts to bring up their rates as well to compensate us a little better on that. And this encompasses about 20% of plans that we see throughout the year, Texas Department of Insurance regulated plans.
You hear a motion? Any other comments?
Sure. If, who came up with these figures about going from $17 a mile to $24?
That was made on recommendations and data that's been collected as well from around our
Who made the
region.
recommendations?
Sir?
Who made the recommendations?
Our billing company, who has
Billing.
the same clients that surround us. And so it was, billing company says this, I pick up the phone and I call Fayette County to verify that's what's going on and that's what they're doing to the billing company. And they advise, of course, this is what's going on. So, we did our fair share of comparisons. Years ago, I mean, we were as low as $9 a mile. But, but inflation hits us too, everybody. This really much aims at the private insurance companies that have been, trying to really go against us, especially in the media, talking about surprise billing. And again, it's really not surprise billing. I'm just surprised that our insurance companies don't pay the claims. So this kind of puts them in line. And if we don't sign up for this, and I don't get information entered in the Texas Department of Insurance website of what you guys have approved, then insurance is only regulated to pay 300 times the amount of Medicare.
Just as a comment, for probably a decade, the legislature has been working to close the loopholes here that have really targeted the consumer. And the consumer winds up paying the insurance companies decide what that rate is, and they don't have to have a justification for that. And so the consumer gets left bill. And so I find it interesting. So if we file this, it goes on file with TDI, then that allows you to charge that and forces them
To write the checks, correct, yes, there's numbers. Absolutely.
I'm all for that.
And to follow up with you as well, it has been going on for years. I've been to Austin a couple times to testify on this as well, and quite frankly, it's just unfair. And I'm really glad that we're to this point with our legislature that we can put some enforcement action back on these insurance companies. That, I mean, Ms. Opiella comes every year and talks about our insurance, how much it's going to cost the county, and you would think that when one of us go to the hospital by ambulance, it would cover that. Most everybody does, but it doesn't. This now forces them to do that, which is good. Now, that's on Texas Department of Insurance regulated plans.
I'm trying to stay on task with this line item. Can you report how has Fayette County's, they closed their hospital, how has that affected us? And we all of a sudden thrown Bastrop in the mix of that, because I was at an LCRA conference with the Bastrop judge asking about our county-run EMS. Bastrop and Fayette do not have an emergency room in those two counties, and how does that affect us?
So it does affect us, and I'm in a unique position where I'm on two sides of the fence too, and I see what happens in Colorado County as well. Fayette County has affected us locally in Lavaca County with transfer of patients to the Lavaca Medical Center from the Schulenburg area, Flatonia area. It's also affected Colorado County tremendously. Their hospital in Columbus, from Fayetteville, Ellinger, LaGrange area. And what's happening is I talked to Fayette County, and on average, small hospital that was still open, when it was still plugging along, we're seeing on average about 18 patients a day through that small ER. And his fear is what if 11 of those start calling an ambulance instead of taking themselves to the hospital still? It's going to put them above and beyond what they can currently hold. And I think they're teeter-tottering with that, because every patient that they pick up off a 911 call can potentially take an hour and a half to 2.5 hours, because they're transporting their patients to Collinsville, Columbus, or Austin. And so that puts our ambulances helping them out a little bit more on that southern end as well, because they're just out. They're transporting patients almost 70 miles every time they pick them up. So it is something to definitely keep a watch on for our operations and their operations regionally.
So our transfers have picked up accordingly.
They have picked up some.
All right, you hear a motion to update this fee schedule?
Second.
Motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve updating the fee schedule for the EMS portal. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, next, item number 16, discuss, enter, approve, accepting grant from Johnson Foundation to the Lavaca County EMS in the amount of $40,500.
Yes, sir. We applied for a grant probably 3 or 4 months ago. We just received word the other day with a very nice check in it, and for the $40,500. What that's going to be used for is going to be a camera system in each ambulance, and it also comes with GPS tracking and all that stuff too. So we'll be able to see 360 degrees around the ambulance. And basically what this is going to be used for is nothing but QA, QI, quality assurance on calls and things like that. We're currently working through policy right now, comparing policies with different agencies and have something similar as well, so we can have that nice and short out.
So the access to those cameras, it's a HIPAA issue.
Absolutely, 100%. Definitely. But definitely, and we're working with the company too. They have secure storage. We can have our own secure storage. So we're working through that as well. And again, a good solid policy, because not everybody has access and can have access to that footage. So it is never compliant.
I will ask this question. I've had 3 jury trials now since I've been taking office, and I want to say all 3 of them, if not at least 2 of them, have had to have EMS personnel testify in those court proceedings. subject to that discovery?
They could be subject to that discovery, but the policies that we're seeing out there right now, since these things are primarily used for QA, most of the time, the footage, first of all, the footage is overridden within a certain amount of time frame, depending on if it's on an ambulance or a supervisor vehicle. So if we catch something in that time frame, we can pull it, but then most policies that we see out there for ambulance services that are written only retains the actual footage for 60 to 90 days, because it's only really used for training purposes. It's not used for anything else. If you were able to catch it within the 60 to 90 days before it disappears, then yes, it could be subject.
All right, any questions? Can I hear a motion?
I move that we approve accepting the grant from the Johnson Foundation, Lavaca County EMS, in the amount of $40,500.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve accepting the grant from Johnson Foundation to the Lavaca County EMS Department in the amount of $40,500. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Burr, Chief Burr. Item number 17, everyone's favorite subject matter tonight, I have to read to court, is advertise for bids for the purchase of the following items for the Lavaca County roads. A volunteer to take the lead.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
We'll be going out for bids for several items. The first one being level up patch material, premix type D, hot mix Olay type D. Purchase of HMAC regular D hot mix asphalt. Cover stone materials, pre-coated grade 3 and grade 4, uncoated grade 3 and grade 4 rock. Soil stabilizer, quick line, pebble bulk, powder line, and then AC5, AC10, MC30, CRS2, which is oils. Limestone 3/4 dust, 1 inch and down, 1.5 inch road base. Vegetation management, purchase and delivery of various bitumen gravel and screen gravel, 1.5 inch and down. Gasoline and diesel fuel for all Commissioner Precinct, Sheriff's Department, Senior Citizen Center, Hallettville, Yoakum, Lavaca County EMS, Hallettville, Shiner, Bolton, emergency management and maintenance, labor and equipment for road construction services.
Second. A motion by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to advertise for bids for the purchase of the following items for the Lavaca County roads. And we will say as read and by.
I do have another point.
Okay.
We'll send those out today, okay, and they will need to be received till 10:15 a.m. on Thursday, November 30th, 2023, and Thursday, November 30th, 2023, at 10:30 a.m. We will open the bids and also, yeah, and we will award the bids at Commissioner Court regular meeting on Monday, December 11th, 2023 at 10 a.m.
12, December 11th. All right, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to advertise for bids for the purchase of the following items as listed for the Lavaca County roads. Bids will go out today. Bids must be returned by 10:15 a.m. on November 30th. Bids will be open and read aloud in this courtroom on November 30th at 10:30 a.m. And bids will be awarded Monday, December 11th, 2023 at approximately 10 a.m. We will take the other agenda items. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to move into consent?
Also,
Yeah, motion by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to move into consent agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are in consent. Microphones will go off until
There's some other money that came out, so I just need to verify that's the way it is.
Okay, and then we, yeah, so we do that, and we'll have, and then we'll get the lease documents, we'll just have to fill out that extra stuff like last time. Video sheet.
Oh, yeah,
The other issue. I'll send